So this time when we went away on holiday, we were really well organised. We'd frozen sprouted grain, pasta and grated vegetables, so everybody had their usual food. But it was the quail really that did worry me. You can see them here and with the jackdaw, and they're all looking very calm and they're all tucking into a great big nest full of ants. But the problem is that whilst we were away, they couldn't get that invertebrate protein, and when they came back they were, including the jackdaw, incredibly fractious and they weren't getting on with each other. So I began to think about mealworms, and rather naively really, I thought, well, I'll go and buy some. And I went out and bought some from a supermarket, and they were being sold for fishing bait. They were in a refrigerator so they wouldn't pupate. I'm going to start spooning them into their new environment now, complete with their apple. Oh, sorry. Oh no, it seems to be okay. They're on their new organic, because this won't be organic they're in. I don't know what it's been treated with or what residues it's got in it. So then I began to do some research on the internet, and I found a lot of conflicting opinions just as to how long the life cycle was. Everything from the beetles lived from 10 days to 10 years. But it wasn't so much that bothered me. What did bother me was that I was reading that they were being treated with hormone. This is to stop them from pupating. They carry on shedding their skin, therefore they carry on growing, therefore they become super mealworms and can command a higher price. This seems to be the next stage now in the mealworm farm enterprise. I did get a bit panicky because I thought, oh, they've all died. But I think they're going into the next stage, because this morning I got this, and it's very much alive, and it's the pupa stage. So hoping for some beetles now. I think what they're doing is they're just going into a comatose state before they change into a pupa. So I'll be looking out. I'm going to take each one out as it forms, just in case. There are a couple that are still younger or smaller, and I'm just worried that they might start eating the pupa. So watch this space. Finding that there was no apparent legislation by which anybody has to declare how they keep insects or what they feed them on, I decided my only recourse was to phone the people up, which I did. And I was told that no, they didn't use hormones, but that they did use antibiotics. So in other words, all the bran there, which I had been suspicious about, as I said at the beginning. It wasn't organic, no way it was going to be organic. And if you know about pesticides, then you know that the majority of grain is sprayed umpteen times, and that spray will end up on the outer husk of the grain. Therefore, bran will be potentially full of pesticide residues. So I've been detoxing these mealworms right from the start. They've been having organic food, and I was hoping that as this was now antibiotic I was dealing with, that would be flushed out. And I can actually see, I think his legs are moving or something, because he is moving. Oh, that's brilliant. So he's just hatched out, and funnily enough I've just put the last pupa in. Oh, he's just coming out. That's brilliant. I've got a piece of apple here for him. He's obviously trying to bury into there. I just have to be careful. That is brilliant, look. Oh, our first beetle. Right, I'll just put him this apple for him to eat, see if he can find it. I think he's eating bran, he's probably hungry. So far so good, we've got one. He seems to be having a problem at the moment finding the apple. Or is he just eating? Oh, he's digging into the bran. He's off now. He's trying to get away into the dark, I think. That's pretty good. He can get underneath and eat that apple.
Camera shy beetle.
Yes, no publicity, please. Oh, I'm so happy. But that's a strange coincidence that we've just put the last pupa in just as the first one hatches. So I'll check the dates, and I'm going to presume that's the first one that pupated. So We'll see how long it takes, because there are so many contradictory statements about these mealworms on the internet. So the best thing is to just do it yourself, and then you know. Particularly in the wing cases, they either didn't develop one side or they were just deformed. And you can see when you look at the beetles here that you can see their backs, their bare backs, and you shouldn't be able to do that. They should have the wing cases folded over the top. One had one leg shorter than the other as well. And I think what's happening here is that obviously it does strip the gut flora, and that's part of the immune system. It's also part of nutrient absorption, and if they're not getting the correct nutrients because they're not able to absorb them into their systems, then obviously they haven't got the nutrient there to convert to the beetle when they start to pupate. So I think that's what's happening. Furthermore, talking to farmers, they did say that they believe that the antibiotic would not stay in the system because it was a constant feed. Once you started feeding antibiotics to animals, you have to keep it up, keep doing that. So I'm hoping that that is the case. But because there's no research there, because there's no information there as to what the actual effects of things like hormones are on insects or antibiotics in the long term, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not terribly happy about it, but I want to have the mealworms for my quail, and in the past, as you know, I've converted medicated quail into organic, but it's taken me months to do that. I've been aware of residues that could possibly be there, either from their food or from medication. And also, what's the point of me feeding mealworms with problems to quail that I've had for 5 years now on an organic system? Anyway, all your thoughts are gratefully accepted. Anybody else feeding mealworms? Anybody else been wondering about this hormone business or the antibiotics, or were you not aware of that? Thanks for watching, and watch this space.